And we are rolling.
Wow, we're fucking back, folks, for another Kevin and Drew Talk movies.
Hell yeah, dude. Some of my favorite shit to do.
Yeah.
Talk motherfucking movies. And holy hell, we got a hell of a matchup today.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird matchup.
My choice for this week's episode is the Coen brothers, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Made in the year 2000. Wow, what a film. We'll get into that later.
I've got
what
a
did
lot
you get?
to say about that movie, man.
Do you?
Yeah, actually,
good.
yeah. It's
I didn't write a whole lot of notes.
I'll get into it. I'll get into it. I wrote a lot of this. I didn't. What's funny is I didn't write really any notes. I picked Schindler's List.
But you still have. Okay, yeah.
But I mean, I just watched it last night, so it's pretty fresh in my brain. And honestly, you don't need notes for this fucking movie. Like
you're gonna say how you.
Yeah, you're gonna say how.
It really hits you deep. Well,
yeah.
I mean,
no, it did. And we'll get into it. It's a heavy fucking movie. It's about the Holocaust, so it's like,
yeah,
it's. We're only going down from here, like, yeah. But yeah, we'll get into it. So, but first, it's time for that thing we do, right? The snapshot.
We do it.
I'm gonna do a different one whenever you're ready.
Wait, let me think for a sec. All right, ready, set, go.
All right.
I did a fucking weird one. I look stupid.
I just put my fucking hands over
my
my eyes.
Like this. I'm a fucking retard.
Did you watch any movies? Other movies?
A couple.
See, I think I watched a couple, but I don't remember them. I didn't write them down. I'll just go first because I just got one. So I went and saw the Bob Marley movie, man.
Oh yeah,
it was actually really good. I really liked it.
I thought about going out to watch that.
And there is some music in that movie. It's on my fucking playlist now. Like I actually really liked it. And it
like
was funny.
Bob Marley.
It's some of his older shit, dude.
Okay.
Like his first big single. I was like, damn, I really kind of love this song.
Let's get together and
feel
alright.
No, it's so my favorite Bob Marley song. I never heard it before until this movie. It's called "Simmer Down." It's from his very first album, 1965. Man, it's an old one, but it's like a mix of like reggae and ska. It's like simmer down, boop 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 boop. I tell you, simmer. There's like 5 people singing. It's dope. It's a really cool scene in the movie because it's Bob Marley and the Wailers, and it was like when they're first getting their start, they go to this studio, basically this gangster. So it's like this gangster and this other guy who's clearly like dealing with like all the political shit that's going on in Jamaica. He's got ties to it. He's like, no, they're not ready. We're not gonna waste our time. And then they're like, wait. We saved the best one for last, and they play that song, and the studio exec comes back in, and he's just like, you see the look on his face, like, damn, this is gonna make me a lot of money. And then he looks into the booth about the guy that said they weren't ready. He's literally standing on the fucking booth table, fucking shaking his fists like this. It's so funny,
hard.
Dude. He's just going so hard. It's my favorite scene in the whole movie. I was like, I fucking loved it.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I thought about watching that.
It's good, man. And what's cool? Oh shit, I'm getting a cramp. God damn it.
Oh shit, he's on his period.
I'm on my fucking period, guys.
Hey, I guess our periods are synced up now.
Oh yeah, no, I just gotta.
I'm on mine too. No,
I just got a rib cramp. Yeah, that's weird. I'm just gonna lean forward, hope it works itself out.
Yeah, so you've been working out and shit. Is that, you think that has something to do with it?
Probably. I probably didn't drink enough water today.
So what was it, day 4 now? You started working out.
Yeah, day 4.
Again, because Yeah, you used to be a gym guy. Too.
Yeah, I was a gym rat for a long
But you
time,
just-
and then I just got all these injuries, and I tried to start up again last fall, and then I got super sick and I quit. So it's been about 6 months since I worked out, so I'm getting into it again. But anyway, honestly, I thought the movie
Good
was,
on you, man. I need to do something like that. I'm a fucking tub of lard over here.
dude, I'm very chunky right now for me. But sorry, folks, we're digressing.
Yeah.
But back to Bob Marley. No, the movie's cool, and what was the coolest part was that it was actually endorsed by one of his sons. He's like, "This is actually a really good representation of my dad," and so
Oh, that's cool.
yeah, it was very cool, and it's not like his whole story. It literally, the movie starts with him. It's the year that he gets shot, and then it goes through like that point in his career until like he goes to like superstardom, because the album that made him famous is called Exodus, and it was like on the Billboard Top 10. There were like singles that were charted like #1. That catapulted him into superstardom. But he, like, even after that, he was just a super humble guy, because the record executives wanted to put his face on the record. And he's like, "Nah, man, it's not what this is about." He's like, "It's about the message." He's like, the record's gonna sell because of the music. It doesn't need my face on it. Like it, and it's like you kind of get the feeling that Bob was a really humble dude. Like, and you just don't see that with people.
I don't know a lot of his music. I know like One Love. What else is there?
Is it love? Is it love? Is it love that I'm feeling? It's another real popular one.
Right. But yeah, I mean, he's very culturally, like, just a significant, iconic person. In fucking history.
I mean, this is the thing that makes Bob Marley so badass. Is that they literally the opposing political group, that because Bob would not pick a political side. He's like, "That's dumb." He's like, "We don't need to be divided. We need to come together. We need to love one another. We need to like be united Jamaican people." And that was always his message. He's like, no violence, love. Like, we need to like come together.
Is he don't worry
about a thing, because every little thing. That's Bob Marley, man.
It's gonna be alright.
That's Bob Marley, man.
Alright, yeah. See, I know a little bit.
But what made him so badass is one of the political parties at the time sent people to assassinate him, and he got shot. He got shot 3 times. And
this
the
is
very next
in America?
No, this was in Jamaica.
Oh, okay.
And so what Bob did was baller. He was like, "No, the message is important. My life doesn't matter, but the message does." So the day after he got shot, he got up on stage and fucking played the show.
He basically died for his art, is what you're saying, huh?
Yeah, he was ready to die for the message, for the art, because he knew it was important. But after that, he had left and went to Europe, and that's when he made Exodus. And then he came back, and he was able to unite the Jamaican people by bringing both political leaders that were at odds on stage, and basically making Jamaica a united front. He's super important culturally, and he's honestly a fucking badass.
Yeah.
Because I was like, it takes someone with brass balls to get almost murdered and then just be like, "Fuck it, I don't care. I'm gonna go play this show because it's important."
And you saw this in theaters by yourself,
sure
or did
no,
you?
my buddy Dylan went with me.
Oh,
shout out Dylan, thanks for going.
hell yeah! My buddy Will and a bunch of other friends went, but it was on a Tuesday, I think, and I worked Tuesdays, so it didn't work out for me. But
Right,
I would have gone and seen it. What did I watch? I only watched 2 other movies.
I'm gonna bring up my shit and make sure there's not one I'm forgetting.
I rewatched Lady Bird.
Right on. I know you like that one.
I love it, dude. I fucking love it. I watched it with Sarah.
Nice.
She was kind of on her phone the whole time,
That doesn't seem like it'd be a Sarah movie to me, honestly.
But she argued that she watched the whole movie, you know what I mean? Even though she was on her cell phone. And I feel like I kind of disagree with that. You know, I don't think you watched the whole movie. You didn't get the visual cues and shit. I mean, I know it's hard for people nowadays to not pick up their phone during a movie. I struggle with it sometimes too. But I really, if it's a movie I want to fucking watch, dude, I'm gonna refrain from using my phone
Sure.
And Lady Bird is such a beautiful fucking movie. And at the end, I wanted to, discuss it with her, and she was like, "Yeah, I get it. Her and her mother's a bitch."
Right, where it's really more nuanced than that. It's she has a very complicated relationship with her mother.
Yeah,
and part of that is because she's leaving. Like,
yeah, dude. She went to New York.
Well, and I really kind of feel like her mother is a bit autistic too, where like. Or
Laurie Metcalf.
Yeah, and also she's kind of OCD. Like she's very like
demanding. And,
yeah. Like things like it's just like things have to be this way. Like
You remember that movie pretty well?
Yeah, I do.
Do you remember what you gave it? Because I fucking love it.
I think I gave it like a 6.5. It just wasn't for me.
Okay, yeah.
I was like, I respected it for what it was. Like I didn't think it was a bad movie. I
think it's brilliant, and I just love
didn't enjoy that movie that much.
And I empathize with everybody in that movie.
Oh, but Timothy Chalamet is just so douchey in that movie.
He really is.
He's such a scumbag, man.
I wrote down in my notes that Sarah doesn't quite see what I see in the movie: the relationship with the mother and her best friend. Lady Bird's best friend.
Lady Bird really kind of does her dirty, honestly.
Yeah, but towards the end they reconcile.
Sure, but
thing.
Lady Bird was totally in the wrong on that one, and she got kind of started hanging out with that one girl who was really kind of just a shithead, honestly.
Yeah, and the her first boyfriend who turned out to be gay. That's a fucking touching part of the movie.
Yeah,
remember
also
that?
Also kind of hilarious, honestly.
Well, the part where he breaks down and he's like, "Please don't tell my parents and shit," and she's like, because she was pissed at him at that moment, and when he breaks down and cries and he's like, "Please don't tell my parents and shit," and she's like, "Okay," and she's like, "Cool, all right, I understand," and she fucking consoles him.
Well, and at that age too, sometimes like it's a coming of age for everybody. So sometimes I think a lot of the times, especially in a very religious state that they're in, where you're told this is like wrong. You come to not understand those feelings.
Sure.
And so you get really confused because, like, you're told that this is a sin and, like, it's supposed to...
but Lady Bird's not really into the church to begin with.
Yeah. And so, well, I think that's part of the reason why she's so understanding of it, though, also. Even though she was so mad in the beginning.
There's also that part where they're having an assembly and the the lady who's... presenting at the assembly, she talks about how she almost got aborted or whatever. And then Lady Bird's like, "If you would have got aborted, we wouldn't have to sit through this fucking assembly."
That was hilarious. That was my favorite line in the whole movie. It was so brutal but so funny, and it was like that. It was such a fucking teenager thing to say too. Yeah. It really is.
Oh, it's so good. All right, so you got another one or no?
Not that I can fucking think of. I don't really think it's. I didn't really watch anything. The only significant movie I really watched was the Bob Marley, and I can guarantee you I didn't watch anything.
You think I would like that one? I wonder what the scores are.
I think you might enjoy it.
I think I would too. There's, I'll get into that later. But there is a movie in theaters that I do want to go watch right now. My only other one was The Holdovers. You know about this one? It's a newer movie. 2023, I believe. Paul Giamatti. It's the same guy who did Sideways.
Got you.
Yeah, and it's a newer movie. It's about like these kid. He's like a teacher and shit, and they have to hold over during the winter break or something like that. And with this kid, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. I really like. Let me see what I wrote. I wrote a couple notes. There's things I like and I don't like about this film. It's pretty funny. There are some acting choices I didn't quite care for, but that was pretty minimal. Giamatti is really good. It's kind of a feel-good movie, in a way, you know. It's a tad predictable, but in small chunks, not the grand scheme of things. I didn't technically shed a tear, but I was kind of getting there, you know?
Yeah.
It's really feel-good type shit. But I liked it for the most part.
Right on.
I think it's got Oscar buzz and shit like that, so that's why I watched it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I just really didn't watch any movies. I've been so immersed in the shit. And then last week I worked so much. I think I really just watched like some TV shit. Like I think I rewatched some of Loudermilk. I was.
Fuck yeah. Mike's been watching that. We got Mike to watch.
Hell yeah, dude, that show's great, man.
Because we've all been talking about it. You, me, Nate, we've all been talking about it, and we got Mike to fucking...
I think Netflix is going to pick it up for a fourth season,
I hope so, dude. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, fingers crossed, man, because, damn, it's the best TV show I've seen in a long time.
I heard Will Sasso actually talking about it on his podcast.
Hell yeah.
Dudesy, which I'm a fan
Will Sasso.
of. Hold on there, brother. All right, I guess we'll get into a fucking movie.
Yeah,
dude.
let's do Schindler's List first. Cause
you want to go hard with the Schindler first?
Yeah, let's go. Let's get into this movie.
All right. I'm not gonna fucking.
So, I mean, this movie's about the Holocaust, and
don't say.
I mean, it's also based off a true story. So Schindler
is crazy.
was a real German in Poland occupied when Germany occupied Poland. Like he was a real German there, and he really did these things to save all these Jews. Right? So this is a true story, but it's not like I read one comment where it's like, how could you make something that's so insidious feel like it's uplifting? I was like, no part of this movie is uplifting. If you think it is, you missed the point of this fucking movie. This is big spoilers now for everybody that hasn't watched it. I'm gonna go straight into the end because I think
it's a 1993 movie. If you haven't seen it by now,
it's over 30 years old.
A lot of people haven't seen it by now.
It's 31 years old, so get the fuck over it.
We're about to spoil it.
The very last quote I think is the most apt thing. It's because, it's not the very, very end of the movie, but it's where I think the movie should have just ended. Where is when Liam Neeson breaks down and he's like, I should have done
I could have done more.
I could have done more. I should have done more. He's like, this ring could have saved one more person. Like, it was just that kind of shit.
This Nazi pin.
And it broke your fucking heart. Like,
yeah, dude.
Because it's true. Because in the towards the beginning, he really kind of didn't give that much of a fuck.
No, of course not.
Because he was really kind of just in it for the money.
He's a fucking businessman, and he got in there and he profited off the war, basically.
Yep.
And this basically free labor.
Yeah, almost free labor. Yeah,
from these Jewish.
They're essentially
prisoners of war.
Yeah,
right?
internment camp people. Yeah. I almost didn't even recognize Ben Kingsley, honestly. It took me a second.
Good in this movie.
He's so
fucking good.
He's so fucking good. So is Liam Neeson. So is Ray
Fiennes.
Dude, man.
He might be the best performance in this movie, honestly.
Because you fucking hate him so much. He's such a bad. One of my favorite scene with him in it is the very first scene you see him in, where the Jewish engineer comes up to him and they're basically building buildings for internment camps, right?
Yeah.
And she's like, hey, the foundation's fucked up. You need to fix it. Otherwise, the building is going to collapse down the road. And so he looks at his officer and he goes, shoot that woman. He's like, what? He's like, no, shoot her. And he goes to take her. He's like, no, shoot her right here where everybody can see her. He's like, we can't have her question us. And so they shoot her, and they literally like walk like 15 steps, and he goes, "Yeah, have them tear it down and rebuild."
Yeah, do what she said, because she was right. Even though I just fucking murdered her.
Yeah,
basically.
And I think that's a big theme in the movie, to where it's like, it's crazy how violent this movie actually is. And
for a Spielberg picture?
Well, no.
Spielberg has kind of a wide range of fucking movies.
Yeah.
If you count Schindler to like E.T., and
Jaws,
Jurassic Park, and shit.
Jurassic Park, Indiana Jones.
Yeah, dude.
But what I'll say is, there's a purpose to the violence. It's to show you that it's like, to the Germans, killing these Jews is like stepping on a ant. You know what I mean? It's
Sure.
nothing to them. They don't even see them as people.
I know, yeah.
And it's it's just
brutal.
like, it's so I think it so conveys the truth of what the Holocaust was, right? Where just like they just weren't treated like people.
Yeah, what a fucking tragic, fucking
it's
horrifying time in history.
Yeah,
bro.
and it's the Holocaust is one of the biggest failures of humanity, right? Because it was a thing that it should have been stopped. It
could have been
never
avoided.
It never should have been taken to that level.
Got that far.
Yeah, but that scene where they're putting them on the trains and they're like, "Oh, we'll get your luggage to you," and they're just taking it in rooms and just piling them, like the shoes. It's like that museum.
And they're just taking all the valuables out, and then they're burning all the clothes and everything else.
But it's like that museum in Germany where it's just like a big pile of shoes. It was like, that's real shit. It's mind-boggling how these people were just treated like animals, basically. And there's this subtlety too. Like, one of the scenes that stands out to me the most is the little girl when she's walking down the street, and it's one of the first times you see color in the movie, and her jacket is bright red.
Right.
And so there's all these Jewish people just being assassinated around. They're just murdering them in the street.
Yeah.
And she's kind of just walking down
through
the street. Yeah. But then
there's things about the theories about that what she represents, you know what I mean? On one hand, I think Spielberg said something about like it kind of reflects on how America saw this happening but didn't do anything for a long time, you know what I mean? But in the other case, it's like the first time Liam Neeson sees the red coat, and it kind of like it kind of makes him realize, like, that one little thing that could stand out to make you just fucking realize the horror that is actually happening. That's the point. That's a good point. Where his character turns into like basically being the good guy.
Well, he starts manipulating the system to like be like, no, you can't take this person. I need them.
Yes,
like he does with Ben Kingsley. He's like, no.
Even people that seem to be like not essential, essential workers, which is crazy. Going through COVID and shit with the essential worker thing.
I know, dude.
That is pretty gnarly. Take that one, man. But
I got about half one left, but it's all good.
But yeah, so that's the girl in the red coat.
I think you're right. I think that's that.
It's the turning point.
It's a turning point. It's like the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yes.
Like all that. Yeah. No, that's like, I didn't think of it that way.
I don't know if I thought about that way. I probably didn't give it but I watched like an extra YouTube video on like a bunch of I got a bunch of facts in here that
cool.
I'll get to.
See, I'm kind of got that for Oh Brother, We're Out There. Like I like kind of like deep dived into it.
Hell yeah!
But there's other things where there was like there's historical stuff in that. What's funny, and I'll get into it later. But yeah, I'll do that for Oh Brother, and I'll let you do that for this, because I really didn't. I mean, I understood the historical significance. Like, I understood this was a true story. Granted, there's obviously things that are Hollywooded up about it, but as far as like the horror of it,
not a lot. There wasn't. They didn't really take too many fucking liberties.
Yeah, it's because
on that. A couple of things, a few things from what I understand.
Ray Fiennes' character in real life, that is what happened to him as soon as the war was over. They straight up hung him. Like, he was hung, strung him up as a war criminal. Like, because, I mean, he fucking was. Like, he just indiscriminately just, I don't like you. I don't like that. He's like, you looked at me wrong. You're dead.
So fucking convincing, man.
Yeah.
So
as that
menacing.
Evil SF
really
officer,
is.
he's like, you people are the scum of the earth, and you need to be eliminated. Like, it's the fucking scenes where he's on the balcony with the sniper rifle, just shooting people for no reason.
What about when
like it's a game?
When
it's
Liam
unreal.
Neeson tells him like the real power is when you can kill somebody but you don't, or something like. And he's like, what does he say? He's like, I absolve you of your sins, or something like that.
Yeah, it's
like
it's
he lets
wild.
a couple people off after
Yeah.
Liam Neeson talks him about that or something. Oh, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Let me throw this shit out there.
Yeah, go for it.
Schindler's List, 1993 war drama. Director Steven Spielberg. We got a 98 Rotten Tomatoes score, 97 audience score. Fucking
Wow.
up there. It's probably the top fucking rated movie we've done so far on here.
I mean, and I get it, because it packs a lot of cultural significance.
It packs a punch.
And but god damn, dude, it's
heavy.
It's a heavy, depressing movie. But that there's this one. There's just so many scenes that just break your heart. Like the guy with one arm, where he's just like,
Oh yeah.
she's like, so you're double useless, and they just drag him out and shoot him. And just like, there's so many scenes like that where they're just indiscriminately, oh, well, you're not a human being.
I know.
It's just-
Imagine that time in history, man. Like,
Oh, God,
I
dude.
couldn't
Yeah,
put myself
In a-
there, bro.
yeah.
Like,
Just imagine
I can't
absolute
even mentally fathom what it was like.
the amount of strength it would have taken to persevere and survive something like
Yes.
that. It's insane.
Yeah, well said. Tagline: whoever saves one life saves the world entire.
I don't know. It's a little bit weird for
It's
this.
it's a line in the movie. And
Yeah.
the other tagline, which I didn't write here, but it is one. It's the list is life, which is
Actually, that is a much more like shouldn't
much
like
more
like,
apt.
like hey, this is I actually really like the scene where he's explaining to the German officers. He's like, these people are basically my property, so if you kill them, you will go to jail, and then you owe me money.
Yeah. So he's like, I win either way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Let me see. I got some notes. It won all kinds of Oscars.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah. Best picture, best director, best cinematography, best editing, and more. Not to mention all kinds of Golden Globes and all that shit.
I would say this is the first movie where I realized how fucking tall Liam Neeson is. Like, because you really
tall.
like see it. Because every time he's like walking through a crowd of people, he's like literally stands over him. Even like when he's next to Ray Fiennes, he's like almost like a half a head taller than him.
You know, he from a YouTube video I seen, he doesn't like his own performance, but he realizes how culturally significant this movie is. Apparently he felt like micromanaged by Steven Spielberg, like basically telling him when to breathe, when to fucking
Yeah.
like down to the last detail.
Well, I
or
mean,
something like
Steven
that.
Spielberg's Jewish. So this movie is probably really. It was I'm not gonna say
It
was
very close to home.
Well, it was very important to him for him to
Yeah,
make
I
this
got
movie.
some notes about that too. Yeah, Ray Fiennes is fucking amazing. I know he's fucking evil as fuck, but he's amazing in his performance.
I'm with you. Like him and Ben Kingsley really fucking stand on. They're just so good. They're just so fucking
Ben
good.
Kingsley, bro, that fool's great.
Yeah, but I just didn't recognize him with hair. He just looked totally different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, remember him from? You were on the episode Lucky Number 11.
Yep.
Where he played the rabbi in that.
I really like that movie, honestly.
Yeah,
it's a good one, man.
It's one where, you know, the ending, after you've seen it once, it's all spoiled. But I still love it. I love the characters. I love Lucy Liu and fucking
Bruce Willis and fucking Morgan Freeman. Oh yeah, everybody's great in that movie, man.
Yeah. Oh man, it's good. Oh yeah. Back to the girl in the red coat. Spielberg, I think, from the notes I took from the YouTube video I watched, she promised him to not watch the movie until she was 18, but she ended up watching it at age 11 and was like traumatized.
Oh, I'm fucking sure she was. Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
like the scene, one of the worst scenes in the movie is the shower scene, man.
Yeah,
where they're fucking gassing everybody. Like, oh god, dude, that was so brutal. Another really bad one is where Rafe is like, oh, you were a part of like the escape, the chicken, and he literally just goes down the line of people and he's just shooting everybody in line. Like he kills like 15 people. It's thank you.
There's a because of the heavy and somber vibes on set, you know, like it was pretty depressing set to film on.
I'm fucking sure it was, man. Like, Jesus.
Spielberg had to have weekly calls with none other than Robin Williams to like
lighten the mood. Yeah, I'm not surprised, dude. Like,
yeah,
this is
dude. Isn't that crazy? Apparently, Robin Williams kind of knew what Spielberg was going through. I mean, they worked together on shit. Is Jumanji? Is that Spielberg? I don't remember.
I'll look it up. I'll give it a Google real quick.
I don't know, but they must have worked together prior to this, right? I'm guessing, because they knew each other.
He's got such a Robin Williams is so impactful, man.
I'm trying to think what Robin Williams Spielberg movie. They must have collaborated somewhere.
Let's see here. I'm gonna bring it up. Keep talking though, man.
I can keep going with my.
Yeah, go with your notes, man. And I'm gonna be Jamie for a second.
This is a pretty good one right here. You gotta listen, even though you're Googling.
I'm listening.
The other way he cheered himself up on set was watching Seinfeld.
Dude, that's funny. I love Seinfeld, though.
And then, you know what else? Jerry heard about that, you know what I mean? And they later put it into a bit into Seinfeld in the show, dude. Do you remember that episode where fucking they were talking about Schindler's List? It was like Jerry's parents fucking saw Schindler's List and they wanted him to go see it. And when he went to go see it, he was with the chick he was dating, and he ended up making out throughout the whole movie.
That's funny.
And they were pissed, bro.
I got it. So I know the movie where him and Steven Spielberg, I don't know if they intersected before this, but this was the big one, the big film there. Hook was where he met Steven.
That's a Spielberg.
Yep,
okay.
And it was 2 years before Schindler's List. So.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, that fucking Seinfeld episode where they go to the fucking movies to watch Schindler's List, and he ends up making out with his girlfriend because they haven't seen each other a lot or whatever. And then Newman sees him, you know, Newman's sitting in the back row, and he watches them making out throughout the whole fucking movie. Ends up telling Jerry's parents and shit.
That's so funny. That's so funny.
You were making out during Schindler's List. He was like, we started.
And now I get it, that joke so much more now, you know what I mean?
Jerry was like, he's like, we started during the coming attractions, and before we knew it, the war was over.
God, I can't believe we're laughing about this movie, man, because it just made me want to cry the whole time I was fucking watching it.
Yeah, I know. It's fucking heavy.
I will say this. My one big criticism of this movie is I feel like this movie could have been like only 2 hours, you know what I mean? Or like two.
It's a bit long.
It didn't, to convey what it needed to do, I don't feel like it needed to be as long as it was. Like, it does feel like it's almost stretched out. And if, like, you wanted to stretch it out this much, it would have almost been better to do it, like, episodically. Like, you know, it's like you want to make a fucking 4-hour film about this story, do that, but do it as, like, 4 1-hour episodes, you know what I mean? I just think that because of the time... I think because of the time, that's the reason why it's presented in this format. But I think kind of what we've learned today is stuff like this is sometimes better broken up into like sections. Because that's kind of how I felt about The Hateful Eight, honestly. Like when it was broken up into 4 sections, it was a lot more digestible because I could watch it in episodes, so I didn't have to fucking sit through a 3 or 4 hour movie. You know what I mean?
I guess
that's a lot of time to invest in a movie, man. And I'm kind of at that point. I'm like, if it's more than 2 hours, I was like, I don't really fucking want to invest the time.
If it's more than 2 hours?
Yeah, man.
Really?
Yeah, like
I think the movie I'm picking later is over 2 hours. 2.5.
I mean, like
two and a half.
2.5 is kind of my limit. Anything longer than that, it's just like, God damn, man.
Do you know what you're picking? Don't say it now.
I think I do. And it's a movie you've seen multiple times, but you talking it up has made me want to pick it and watch it.
Hell yeah. I'm excited. That doesn't really bother me. I don't mind long movies if I'm into them, you know.
Yeah. I just think there were sections where this movie kind of dragged a little bit for me. That's just a personal thing.
And this is your first watch, right?
This is my
second watch, and it went up in my book, honestly.
Okay.
On second watch.
Okay.
Let me see what else I got for notes. Oh, basically a bunch of facts that I watched from a YouTube video. Anyways, Spielberg almost passed on the film. He tried to pass it off to directors like Roman Polanski.
Fucking Roman Polanski.
Have you ever seen The Pianist? That's another Holocaust.
That's with Adrian
Brody.
Yeah. No, I've always meant to watch it though. I
watched it not long ago for the first time. I fucking really liked it.
I might end up picking that movie because it's kind of always been on my radar, and I just never got around to watching it.
It was something.
I know that's the movie that like made Adrian Brody big. Like that's like what was his first like really big role.
And you know, Roman Polanski actually lived in the Krakow ghetto, apparently.
No shit.
Yeah, I was like, my mind was blown when I read that fact, and he later escaped, but his mom went to Auschwitz or whatever.
Oh yeah, Auschwitz, yeah.
So,
which is a straight up.
It's just crazy how fucking not that long ago this fucking event happened.
Yeah,
isn't that crazy? Because Roman Polanski...
literally less than 100 years ago, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's fucking bananas.
It was... It's actually less than 90 years ago. So it was like... We're on like the... 80... We're between like the 80 to 85 mark right now, right? It's wild. That is not a lot of time. That's essentially one grandparent, right?
Yeah,
that's
dude.
One grandparent.
Yeah, 1941. Holocaust was the genocide of European Jews during the World War II between 1941 and 1945.
But and really, I feel like it started.
That.
I feel like it really after the Olympic Games, like in 1938. I really kind of think a lot of this shit started after that.
Right.
Because Germany losing to the USA, it was like another slap in the face. Like it like really hurt the pride of the Nazi Party and the rhetoric they were pushing, right? Because they're supposed to be the superior race, and then they fucking lose in the Olympics. Like, and so it kind of it exacerbated a chain of events that was kind of already in motion.
Yeah.
And so I really feel like a lot of this shit probably started in 1939. And
Yeah.
it's like Jojo Rabbit, right? Like
Yeah.
like it kind of parallels to that, where it's just like there's a good parallel in Jojo Rabbit to Schindler's List. It's when he's trying to save the girl that's basically living in his in the wall, right?
Yeah.
Because one of the boys that's been enlisted by the German army to help hunt down Jews with the whistle, he sees a Jew trying to run, and then realizes it's his neighbor and her daughter, and then he helps them get away. Like, he essentially helps them get away from being hunted down. She's like, no, let me take you somewhere where they're not going to shoot you in the street. Like,
Right.
It was like, because in that moment, he realizes, oh, it's not just these nameless faces that we're killing. It's my neighbors. It's my friends. Like, maybe this isn't okay. And that's the parallel I'm going to make to Jojo Rabbit, where there was a situation where this boy was filled with this bullshit rhetoric, and then he has that moment of clarity. He's like, oh, maybe this isn't okay.
You know, Sophie's Choice was also another sort of Holocaust movie.
Really?
The one I talked about last week.
Yeah.
A couple of weeks ago when we did another one is The Boy with the Striped Pajamas.
I've heard of that one. No, I've heard of it, but I've heard it's just so depressing. So I was like, yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah, it's pretty heavy. Back to Polanski though. He ended up turning down the script up. Apparently Spielberg was supposed to do it. He met like the guy who told him the story or whatever, and he told him he would make the movie, but in 10 years. But the guy kept calling him, I guess, over the years and telling him he was dying, so he's felt a little guilty. So he tried to push the movie off on other directors. Polanski was one of them, and he didn't want to do it because, like I said, he grew up in the Krakow ghettos, and
right,
it was too close,
it was too personal. Yeah.
The other one was Martin Scorsese, which is crazy. Can you imagine Martin Scorsese directing this film?
I feel like this movie would have had a totally different vibe to it if Scorsese directed
For
it.
sure.
I think it would have definitely been more Hollywooded up.
He was damn near locked in, apparently, with Spielberg doing the remake of Cape Fear, but apparently Spielberg had a change of heart, and so they swapped movies.
No shit.
Yeah, that's what I learned from that YouTube video.
Yeah, because Scorsese did 2 movies with Robert De Niro back to back.
I never saw Cape Fear though.
I didn't either, but so he did Cape Fear, and then right after that he did Casino with Robert De Niro.
Casino's good.
Yeah, so it was like Cape Fear '93, and I think
Goodfellas number 2. No, I'm kidding.
Oh no, Goodfellas.
It's a joke. That's a
I feel like
David Spade joke.
I feel like Goodfellas and The Departed are Scorsese's best movies. Like,
see, I love The Departed. I think it's gone down over the years, but I still love it for what it is.
Yeah.
There's better Scorsese movies, though. I gotta think about it, though.
Oh, you really like Killers of the Flower Moon, though, don't you?
Oh, that was fucking fantastic.
I still haven't seen it. It's on my list, but it's like
another long one.
But I know it's like 3 hours. Yeah, I was like, it's over 3 hours. I was like, man, I'm gonna have to set aside time.
No, but there's got to be others. There's Goodfellas is fantastic.
Yeah, Goodfellas is that one.
He's also got like Taxi Driver. Fuck, he's got a bunch.
Raging Bull is one.
Have you seen that yet?
No.
I have.
It's on my list.
Couple more facts, and then we'll jump into the next one.
Yeah.
Spielberg did not accept any money he made from the film.
No shit.
He called it blood money. He ended up donating it to different charities and museums and shit.
No shit. That's actually pretty cool.
That's really cool, right?
Yeah, that's really cool. I didn't know that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fucking. It's you can tell this is really close to his heart. Did you hear about that Fabelmans movie? That his newest one?
No.
It's basically about him growing up being a filmmaker. I don't know.
Got you.
It's kind of his own story. My last.
I was like, why would you do that movie while you're still alive, though? You know what I mean? Like,
what do you mean?
It's like, why would you do
Schindler?
No, the movie about
the Fabelmans.
Yeah, about. It's like, why would you do a movie? It's kind of egocentric. You know what I mean? It's like, why are you going to make a biography about yourself while you're still alive?
A little bit.
I was like, come on.
It's a decent movie.
Come on.
Me and Mike went and saw it in theaters. It was just kind of neat how kind of he sort of revolutionized some things.
He did a lot. He essentially invented the blockbuster movie, like with Close Encounters of the Third Kind and Jaws, and then again with Jurassic Park. Like
Jaws is amazing.
And Indiana Jones.
Love that movie.
First Jaws is a fucking great movie.
I picked it before for a Halloween episode.
Hell yeah.
My last note is another fact. Harrison Ford turned down the role because he thought everyone would just see him as Indiana Jones. You know what I mean? So he didn't want to take away.
Yeah, because him being Han Solo and Indiana Jones just propelled him into superstardom.
Yeah.
But he was kind of typecast as an action hero after that. Like he couldn't ever get away from that.
Yeah.
Because like even like his big movies after that are like basically movie like Air Force One and President's Day, where he's a fucking action hero.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He could never get away from that in the 90s after Indiana Jones and Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like, he was very much typecast.
Apparently when Spielberg brought it to him, he told him that. He was like, "No, I think everybody's going to see me as Indiana Jones." And he didn't think the Germans should be a Jew because I guess Harrison Ford is Jewish or whatever.
Okay.
And
I didn't know.
Spielberg agreed, and there was also a couple other people who wanted the part. Kevin Costner.
I could not see him in this movie. Like, there's movies that I like him in. He's not a bad actor, and there's a few movies I've seen him in where I was like, oh wow, that was not what I would expect. Like I didn't think he was capable of that range, but okay.
I think
cool.
I like him, but I don't know a lot of his shit, you know.
I actually like his baseball.
I saw Waterworld, but that's not a great movie.
No, it's a terrible movie. The two movies I like the best.
Field of Dreams.
Field of Dreams is.
I never saw that.
I'm gonna pick that movie. I'm gonna pick that movie.
People
now.
love it. People love it.
It's one of the best baseball movies, man. Like that one, and then he's honestly he's in like some of the great like sports baseball movies.
I saw Untouchables.
That's a good one.
It was fine.
But his best movies are actually baseball movies. So it's Field of Dreams, Bull Durham. And there's one called For the Love of a Game. That's actually a really good movie, too.
Never heard of that one.
Where he's like an aging player and he's about to retire, but he's in the midst of pitching the perfect game. So it's like it's a good movie too. The only other one I would say is Mr. Brooks, which is a totally different thing. He's a serial killer in that movie. He's actually really convincing. It's a solid movie. He kills Dane Cook. That's the hook on it. Like,
all right.
That's what made me love that movie. I was like, oh, cool. He killed Dane Cook because fuck that guy.
And then also Mel Gibson wanted the part. Can you see Mel Gibson
No,
as
dude,
Oscar Schindler?
Dude, he's another one who is like, dude, you're fine in action movies, but when it comes to
I think that was part of it, is that those two actors were way too big for... After hearing what Harrison Ford said to Spielberg, he was like, the Kevin Costner and Mel Gibson, they're too big at the time to portray Oscar Schindler.
Well, with Kevin, I think he would have had the acting chops to pull it off. I think he might have surprised some people, but I can understand why Spielberg wouldn't want to take that risk, because, you know, he's known as like the romantic guy. Like, yeah, he's been in some like hard-nosed movies like Untouchables, where it's like, you know, it's it's a Hollywood version of the events of taking down Al Capone.
Mm-hmm.
But, and he had movies like that, but he was also known as like kind of like the romantic comedy guy, and so he didn't want to take a chance on that. And I totally get, no, with Mel Gibson, he's just a pure action star. Like, that dude has a lot of his characters are kind of the fucking same. Honestly, it's like you're just kind of playing the same dude in every movie.
Was this before or after Braveheart? I don't know.
It was before Braveheart, and Braveheart kind of just solidified that, right?
I fucking love that movie.
It's a great movie, dude. But yeah, no, he's very much just
William Wallace. I'll squash you like a worm. Sorry.
No, it's all good, G.
But yeah, so there you have it.
Do you want me to grab another round of briskies?
Yeah. Let's finish out this movie though.
Okay,
so,
yeah.
Rewatchability, I would,
but I gotta fucking
give us some time.
I gotta get some time, because there's a lot of shit in this movie that's just a gut punch,
It's heavy.
man.
It's fucking crazy. It's fucking nuts. You gotta really brace yourself before you watch it.
Well, it's in the beginning. It's a lot of the bourgeoisie bullshit, like, you know, like it's like the German high culture, right? They're really establishing Liam Neeson's character Schindler, where he's just like, you know, he's this fucking smoozer, and he's really trying to be a part of high society. He doesn't give a fuck about what's going on in the world.
He just takes the fucking that apartment that was fucking them Jews lived in or something.
Yep.
They kicked out the Jews, and Oscar Schindler just comes in like, yeah, this will work.
Yeah, just does not give a fuck at all about what's going on.
He really didn't give a fuck at first. And
and just used people. He's like, cool, you're gonna make me all this money. Like,
yeah, because of the war, he profited so much, and then by the end of the film, he spends all that money trying to free as many Jews as he can.
Yep.
Which is beautiful.
Literally saved
and
thousands
they give him
of
that
people.
ring, bro. They took the fucking...
Dude, that made me cry a little bit, honestly.
Yeah, dude. They took the guy's feeling out and fucking melted it down. Made a fucking ring for Oscar. And then he breaks down. He's like, I could have done more.
That scene hit me. It's like, I think Liam was fine. Like, he did a fine job. It's just, he's just so overshadowed by Ralph Fiennes.
Yes.
Like,
and fucking Ben Kingsley, dude. Like, I think they both... I mean, Liam Neeson's great, but those two gave better performances.
I agree with you. And Ben Kingsley, he just has that quiet demeanor. Like, he's so convincing as like this person who is like, I'm gonna do what you say, but I'm way smarter than you, and I'm gonna manipulate you into doing what I want you to do. Like,
sure.
And he nails that so well.
Yeah, he's fucking great. All right, folks. Wait. Rate it. We gotta rate it real quick.
This is one I'm actually going to give 2 ratings on.
Okay.
This is the first time I think we've ever done this on this pod, but I'm gonna let you rate it first, and then I'll go and I'll explain why.
I'm going about an 8.5.
Okay.
Pretty high.
Yeah.
I could go higher, man. This is a very significant movie. It's very heavy and touching, and obviously, I'm not Jewish, but I feel for the fucking Jewish people and everything they went through, and the depiction that this movie fucking
It's just so
plays
harrowing,
out.
right? And it's like I said, it's not Hollywoodized like Jojo Rabbit is, right? It's a very real depiction of this is what these people went through.
Spielberg turned down like a bunch of notes about the movie. Like they wanted it to be in color, and then they wanted this.
Honestly,
and
that I think that was the smartest decision, to have it in black and white until the end when you see all the survivors.
Yeah,
because that's the only silver lining, right? Is like, there are people that there are these lineal lines that exist today because of what Schindler did, and that is the only silver lining. But there is no silver lining with the Holocaust. It was an absolute failure on humanity for letting this thing happen.
yeah.
So now I'm going to give my 2 ratings, and I'm going to explain why.
Let's hear it.
So first rating is because of the performances, because I think it deserves all the accolades that it got. Like, it really does. I give, based on its cultural significance and its impact, the cinematography, I give it an 8.
8?
Give it a solid 8. However, based on my personal preferences and the length of the movie, and this is a big thing for me, I really do feel like this story could have been condensed just a bit to be packaged as a more watchable movie in one sitting. Because that 3 hours, I'm not going to lie, that 3 hours was a little bit...
3 hours and 15 minutes.
It was a little bit rough. I feel like it could have been 2.5, and it would have had the same impact, told the same story. They're just...
I heard the part that they were kicking out everybody from the ghettos or whatever. Like, that part was supposed to be shorter, but Spielberg wanted it. He, like, revised it and made it longer for effect or whatever.
Sure. And I mean, I understand the decisions, like, why decisions were made. But just, like, some of those things, and it's just like, man, I just, like, don't... it's not that I wouldn't watch this movie again, but I'm not really sure that I would choose to. And for like just personal, like if I was just to sit down and watch a movie for the pleasure of watching it, I would give this movie like a 6, because like it's like I didn't enjoy watching it that much. It's not that I think it's a bad movie. Like it's an incredibly well done movie.
Well, yeah.
It's just not something like I would like. If I wasn't doing this,
it's not an easy watch.
It's not an easy watch, and it's not something I would think I would just go out on my own volition and be like, hey, I've got the day off. Let's watch Schindler's List. You know what I mean? Like, yeah.
I get where you come from. Yeah.
And that's why I wanted to give it 2 ratings, like the enjoyment rating and the
cultural.
I call it the Hollywood rating and the enjoyment rating.
Okay,
Like, I think it's a fair way to put it.
That's fair. All right, folks. Holy fuck, that was a heavy one. We're already fucking an hour in. We still got another movie to do.
And we're going to talk about that shit a lot. We will be back to you in a short break. I'm going to grab some brewskis for me and my pal.
You got that right.
And
we're back. We are back to talk about a fucking fantastic movie.
Oh, brother, where art thou?
In my opinion, yes. Oh, brother, where art thou? It's a movie from the year 2000. It's a comedy crime movie. It's the couple of the greatest directors ever out there, Joel and Ethan Coen.
The Coen brothers, another Coen brothers movie on this podcast.
It had to be done, bro.
Hey, it's okay.
Coen brothers fucking rule, man.
Can I say something?
Sure.
I was actually kind of surprised by how much I liked a lot of the music in this movie.
Right?
I was just like, actually, it's pretty fucking good.
That's also one of my notes. The music plays a huge role in this movie.
Yeah, well, it's interesting too that with the exception of like one scene, they just lip sync it all, and it's actually all the music's done by like a bluegrass band that has like a similar name to what they have in the movie.
Soggy Bottom Boys.
Yeah, it's like It's like the Foggy Mountain Boys or something like that. It's like the name of the real band, and they're like a real bluegrass band. You
That's
look them
cool.
up. Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, I looked that up. Before we get too much into the movie, I'm gonna say I'm gonna bring up the fact that this movie is kind of a loose retelling of Homer's Odyssey. And so a lot of the characters like represent things from Homer's Odyssey. The two that really don't are, I mean, you can make cases, but they're actually historical figures. Like, they actually existed. One is George Nelson. George Nelson was a real criminal during that time. He was a real bank robber. Babyface Nelson. Yeah, he was actually real. Now, granted, I don't think he ever robbed anything in Mississippi. Like, I think that was kind of like a really, where like that part of history gets real loose.
Yeah.
But he was a real person. The other one is Tommy Johnson, the blues player who he sold his soul now.
The guitarist,
yeah. So I'm gonna make this distinction. So this is actually a mistake on Wikipedia. Like, if you go onto the Oh Brother Where Art Thou Wikipedia, it says that Tommy sold his soul in the movie to be like a great blues player, much like his counterpart in real life, the real Tommy Johnson. That is not true, though. That story is not based on the blues player Tommy Johnson. Who it's actually based on is a old-time blues player from that same time period named Robert Johnson. So Robert Johnson is the person that is associated with selling his soul at the crossroads to the devil. And the reason people thought that was because a year prior he was terrible. Like, he was not good at playing. Like, people didn't think he had a good singing voice. And then he came back a year later and he was incredible. And so that's when that mystery behind him started, because they're like, oh, well, you know, it's like you must have sold your soul to the devil to be able to play good. It's the kind of thing.
Just like John Candy from Home Alone.
Yep.
Remember that?
Exactly. But I'm gonna make.
Or no, it was Catherine O'Hara who. But I'm
making the distinction because that is actually a falsity on the Wikipedia page. I found one. I got them.
Well, it's Wikipedia. Anybody could fucking edit that shit.
But it's not the blues player Tommy Johnson. It's Robert Johnson as the correct. He's like Tommy was a real person. You can actually listen to his music on Spotify. That was pretty fucking good. He was a really good blues player.
Pull that up, Jamie.
But that's what I just wanted to get before we get into all the other stuff. I just wanted to make those distinctions.
Sure.
Because I think it's interesting that they're in spite of this being like a retelling of Homer's Odyssey, there's actually like real historical.
I don't know that story that well. Homer's Odyssey.
I kind of do. I mean, I remember kind of reading it in some of my English classes when we were like going over Greek mythology, but I don't know it that well. I mean, I'm familiar with some of the characters, but we'll get into that as we talk about the movie. Sure. I'll kind of get into like who's supposed to represent what.
As far as Rotten Tomatoes scores, we got 78, and then the audience score is 89. So pretty good.
Yeah.
Not quite as good as Schindler, but pretty good.
Well, the critics with Coen Brothers movies are usually pretty split. Like, it's kind of how it is.
And then the tagline I got is, "They have a plan, but not a clue."
That is actually a pretty good tagline
like that
for this
one?
movie. Yeah,
it's decent. It's a good one. Yeah, dude. This movie is just so much fun, dude. It's like it almost
pretty
feels
hilarious, actually.
It almost feels like a privilege to watch. You pop this motherfucker on.
I did. There's a lot of stuff that it really kind of yeah. I had a lot more fun watching this movie than Schindler's List. Like, I will say that.
It's so much fun. I know. After Schindler's List, we gotta lighten the mood.
Yo.
And
that's why I wanted Schindler to be first.
Yeah. This is the movie to do it. Yeah, that was a good choice. And then what the first time we talked about them meeting the guitarist, and when they finally go to the record or the radio station and record the song. Goosebumps, bro. Right when he first sings "Man of Constant Sorrow," bro.
Yeah.
I get goosebumps from like, ooh, you know what I mean?
It's a good fucking song,
right?
too.
and it's a very significant song. I think it's very popular among people nowadays too. And Coen Brothers are good for that too, because like Inside Llewyn Davis, all like a lot of those songs are just fucking cemented in my head. Like, I don't know how they do it. They find the people to compose these songs that are just so fucking iconic and just fucking resonate with
they have a
mass audience.
Yeah, they have a good eye and ear for talent, for sure.
100%.
I kind of love that the main trio, they're all kind of just lovable idiots, right?
Clooney, John Turturro, Tim Blake Nelson.
So it's like it's like that group of like low collar criminals where it's like, yeah, the leader's like the smartest one, but he's really still kind of an idiot, right?
Yeah, dude. He's all worried about his hair the whole time.
Well, and that's why they keep finding him too, is because of the
Dapper Dan.
Well, it's the smell, and he keeps leaving the hairnets behind. Like,
yeah,
so he's
the
like
hairnets,
literally leaving a trail for people.
Cans.
For people to find him. Yeah.
You can't find a proper hair
I
jelly.
I do also love that in the opening scene of the movie that Pete's cousin literally sells the like for the bounty. Like, it's not even 15 minutes into the movie, and they're literally lighting the barn on fire. That scene cracked me up.
And then when
much.
he stole the pocket watch, he was like, what does he say? He's like, oh fuck.
Well, he goes, you stole from my kin. He's
yeah,
like,
my kin.
But he betrayed you. You didn't know
you
that
didn't
when
know
he
that
did
at the time. He's like, well, I was borrowing it until I did know.
Dude,
so
George
fucking
Clooney's
funny.
Fucking amazing.
He's
in this
great.
Movie. This is
Such
I think
a handsome guy too, man.
Oh god,
wow.
dude. It's not even fair. It's not even fair how good looking he is.
Good looking dude.
He still is too. It's just like, dude, fuck you for being so handsome.
Yeah. He's like pit level fucking.
He really is, man.
I gotta say, Tim Blake Nelson is probably one of my favorite characters too. He's just so good in this.
Remind me who he plays.
He's the third guy. You got John Turturro, you got Clooney, and then you got Tim Blake Nelson.
He plays Delmer.
Delmer, yeah.
Yeah, Delmer, yeah.
He's everything he does is so funny. Like when they think fucking he turned into a horny toad.
Yo, he's just like,
we thought you was a toad.
We thought you was a toad. The treasure is a trap.
It's a bushwhack. It's an ambush.
Yeah.
We thought you was a toad.
I was like, I'm sorry for selling you out, boys. It must be part of my blood.
And then when John Goodman squishes the fucking frog and throws it at the tree.
It broke my heart, dude. Although, dude, John Goodman's only in this movie for a little bit. Dude, he may leave such a big impact. I love when he's like, I'm teaching you a lesson, and then just beats the shit out of both of them, and then he drops the fucking tree limb. He's like, lesson finished. Like,
I don't know what you're getting at, Big Dan.
And then just clobbers him with the fucking tree
After
limb.
he already fucking hit fucking Tim Blake Nelson, he's just still eating his corn. He's like, what do you mean, Big Dan? Yeah.
Just so naive, to what's going on, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the Klan scene was one of my favorite in the whole movie. That fucking cracked me up.
Yeah.
So much. And the fact that it was the fucking candidate was like the leader.
Yeah. Homer something.
Yep, Homer, yep.
Yeah. But it was funny when they there's a funny line from that scene where he takes the hood off of Clooney and Tim Blake Nelson, and the guy Homer he goes
the colored guard's colored.
Yeah, dude. He goes the guard is colored. He's like, who made oh fuck, god damn it, I should have written it down, but yeah. The color guard's colored.
Yeah, it's so funny.
The guards are colored. Who made the color guard color? Something like that.
It's
fucking retarded. It's so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, like I said, this movie is just so fun to watch. And it is. Like, it's the music, too. Like I said, it's throughout the whole movie, too. Like, the soundtrack. It's almost like it's not a musical, but it's almost like a musical because the songs go from scene to scene, damn near. Well, you know what I mean? Like it's damn near always music playing throughout this.
So
movie.
This is where I'm gonna get into
it.
I'm gonna get into it a little bit, and so
let's hear it. Bring it on.
So John. This story is loosely based on Homer's Odyssey, and so Everett, he's Odysseus, like he's the main character, right? And even his full name is Ulysses Everett McGill. Ulysses is the Roman version of Odysseus, so that's why they sneakily did that.
Yeah, I didn't.
And so, in the beginning of Odysseus's story, he's betrayed by the crew. They mutiny and he gets marooned. Pete is the representative of the crew that betrays him, right? Because he does, like, it's not his fault. He's literally fucking tied to a tree getting whipped. Anybody's gonna fucking squeal if that's what's happening.
Yeah, he was damn near hanged.
Well, it's like you're being tortured and threatened with death. You're gonna fucking break.
Spill the beans.
Yeah, you're gonna break. And then Delmer is the crew that is foolish, that gets killed or just goes along with his plans and gets fucked over in the end, because Delmer kind of gets the worst of it in a lot of situations, and that's kind of Odysseus' crew. A lot of them
love
get killed.
His character.
I love Delmer too. So like, Pete and Delmer represent Odysseus' crew, like, right? And so they're the representation of that. Now, who John Goodman's character represents in the original poem by Homer is the Cyclops, and it makes total sense because when we first see him, he only has one eye, right?
Yeah.
And in the original story, how Odysseus defeats the Cyclops is he stabs him in the eye with a burning stick, and what happens to John Goodman? Burning cross falls on him, and he almost actually gets hit in the eye.
Yeah.
So
when they fucking throw the fucking Confederate flag, and he catches it right before he hits its eye.
There's a lot of literary. There's a lot of parallels to the literature in the movie. Like the Laundry Girls are a representative of the sirens, right? Where they're luring people to their death. Which they're luring them, and then once they figure out who they are, they, fucking give them moonshine, which moonshine will knock anybody out if you're not used to drinking it. And that's what that was. It was straight up fucking moonshine. And, and then they hog tie Pete and fucking sell him for the reward. Like,
wait, they left his heart. God damn, that's funny. Oh man.
And then the sheriff represents Poseidon. So in the story, Poseidon's trying to kill Odysseus. Sheriff's trying to capture, punish Everett. So it's like there's very literary parallels to the original story. But I mean, they take a lot of liberties as well, though. It's not like a direct retelling, right? It's like there's parallels, but it's a lot more lighthearted.
They're kind of making it their own.
Yeah, they're taking something that's like historical and has a lot of history to it, and then kind of doing their own thing with it.
They can really spin a yarn, you know what I mean? These Coen brothers, fucking A.
Dude,
it's so good.
Scene in the grocery store where Everett fights his wife's fiance cracks me up because he's doing like the old timey boxing. Because like if you tried to box like that today, you get the shit beat out of you. That's why it's so funny to watch me fight him and just get his shit kicked in.
He does get punched out by the
because anybody that like does this and jabs like that, you have so much time to literally just tap it and fucking jab them right back. Like, if you know how to box. That was one of my favorite. Like, watching it was so entertaining to me. I was like, man, if you tried that shit today, you get the shit beat out of you. Like, it would not work.
I am a man of constant sorrow. I've seen trouble all my days.
I'm bona fide, god damn it. That's one of my other favorite lines in the movie.
That's not your daddy. He was hit by a train.
that whole scene is one of my favorite scenes in the whole movie.
Oh.
Well, you lying, tainted succubus.
Have you seen The Ballad of Buster Scruggs?
No, man.
Oh, I gotta pick that one of these days.
I've been really weary because it's a Netflix movie. I'm very like
it's Coen Brothers, dude.
I know it's Coen Brothers, but I'm still like
That would be a weird one to do on this podcast, but I think it'd be worth a try. I'll pick it one of these days.
Okay.
But I'm not saying don't watch it. If you feel like watch it. But I will eventually.
I gotta pick that movie. You said you've never seen. Like, I don't remember what you said, but I'm gonna listen to the podcast and find them. Like, yeah, I'm gonna pick that movie next time. I don't remember what you said it was, but
what, this podcast or a previous podcast?
No, this one.
Okay.
Because I said I would pick it sometime. You said I've never seen that movie, and I was like, I don't remember what movie it was though.
Yeah,
too many beers in.
We've been drinking. What else to say about this movie, man? It's beautiful. It's shot very well. The acting is pretty fucking great.
Yeah. The guy that plays the sheriff, he's kind of he's really as like always either a scumbag or an asshole in like everything he's in.
I remember him from Seinfeld.
And he's a dickhead in Seinfeld too.
Yeah, he's like George's boss or something.
All right, let's pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up, please.
Let's give it a goog.
Because I know him from other things.
He's been in so much shit, man. I've seen him.
I don't even know his name, but yeah, he's the guy with the. You're talking about the guy with the weird glasses and shit. Yeah,
guy with the weird glasses. Well, what's funny is the guy that plays Pappy, he was Jeffrey Lebowski in the wheelchair in Big Lebowski.
Oh, yeah, the mayor.
Yep.
Or the
governor.
Governor, yeah. And then you got Stephen Root in there, who we all love. Stephen Root, the voice of Bill Dauterive and fucking and dude from Office Space, you know. He's in a lot of things.
So is this guy.
That was my stapler. What's his name? You got it?
Oh, I know exactly who you're talking about. Yeah, I love that actor, man.
Stephen Root.
He's in Office Space. He's in Dodgeball. Like he's been in a lot.
Yeah, Dodgeball.
He's been in a lot.
He's Bill
of shit.
Dauterive. He's great.
I'm trying to find a movie you would.
He was in Barry. Did you watch Barry?
I loved Barry, dude.
He was in that.
He's the police chief in Super Troopers. The guy I was talking about, the sheriff that's in this movie. He's the corrupt.
Yeah.
I was like, that is a movie I know you've seen. That
I was thinking, fucking, who's the other guy in Super Troopers? The other old guy.
I know exactly who you're talking about. He's a great actor too. Yeah.
Fuck! I can't. I'm blanking so hard right now.
That guy has been in a lot of shit too.
Yeah, he's great. Anyways,
yeah,
should we wrap this one up?
Let's wrap it up. Yeah, it's been a
beautiful movie. It's so much fun to watch. You throw it on, and it's like an hour 47 minutes, something like that.
It was a quick watch, honestly,
and it's a very fast-paced movie too. I would say.
Yeah, it's a really eventful, and like It's really upbeat. Like, you just kind of go from event to event. Like, they fucking go from, like, running from the law, and Tommy Johnson takes off, and they run into fucking George.
They record that song. They fucking...
Yo. Well,
that's what's crazy, too, is they record the song, and they don't know it's a hit until towards the end of the movie.
Yeah,
you know
they have no idea that everybody knows who they are. Yeah,
the Soggy Bottom Boys. Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And then that other guy who's running for governor ends up spilling the beans that he's a big racist and shit.
Yep,
they carry him out and shit.
Yep, that was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, if you don't know this movie, what the fuck are you doing? Watch this fucking movie.
Watch this fucking movie.
So much fun. Did you rent it?
Yeah, I had to rent it. I had to rent them both. Yeah.
Me too. On Vudu. Vudu's my app. I rent on Vudu.
I did it on Prime just because I don't have Vudu.
All right, rewatchability.
Fuck yeah, man!
100%.
Watch this movie again.
I would watch it in a couple of months, probably. I
would say the same. I really could. Like, it's pretty enjoyable. It's pretty fucking
so
funny,
enjoyable.
Man. It's got such an ensemble
there's
cast
a charm
too, man.
to
like,
it.
There's so many good actors in this movie.
There's a real charm,
but dude,
there's like it's a vibe. You know what I mean? Especially with all the music and the scenery. You know, it's Mississippi. You're in like the fucking swamps and shit. And a lot of the time.
Well, I love like the intertwining too, where setting. The fucking guy, the other guy running for mayor that everybody likes, is the fucking leader of the Ku Klux Klan, and then John Goodman, who robbed him earlier, who was a Bible salesman, is part of the fucking Ku Klux. Like, you know what I mean? It's just shit you don't expect, and it's great. It really pays off towards the end of the movie.
Fucking Clooney's always like waking up from his sleep.
The person,
oh my god, my hair.
The person they're trying to fucking sacrifice is Tommy. Like, he's like, oh shit, that's Tommy. We better go help that boy out. Like,
the treasure was all fake. It was just a story.
Just a ploy so they would help him go convince his wife not to marry that dude.
He's got like 6 little girls, 6, 7, 8 little fucking daughters.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's rate it. What are you sitting at?
Honestly, man, I give this movie a solid 8.
Hell yeah, dude. That's where I'm at too.
Yeah.
It's a fucking
good
like
movie,
an optimistic 8, bro. That's it. It's so much. It's like you can't not smile while watching this movie. It's
dude, they're burning the barn down and they fucking start shooting. That shit fucking makes me laugh so hard every time I see it.
The fucking kid drives in with the car.
Yep.
I'm about to RUNOFT whatever.
RUNNOFT.
Yeah. There you have it, folks. Fuck yeah.
There's only one thing left to do now, brother.
You know that. You know that's right.
Picking a movie. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first if you want.
Okay, go for it.
Did you settle on one?
Yes, I did. Because I'm going to pick the one that you said you've never seen next time, but I've got another one in mind this time.
All right. I don't even remember what that was.
I don't either. That's why I'm going to have to listen to the pod and figure it out.
Right, that's why he can't pick it now, because he don't remember it.
I don't remember.
He's going to have to review it.
Review and restew. Like,
this is a fucking hour and a half long episode.
Hey, it's going to be a good one, though.
My choice is it's kind of a feel-good movie. It's pretty feel-goody, I feel like, till the end.
Disclaimer.
It stars Emile Hirsch. Kristen Stewart's in there somewhere. I'm going with Into the Wild. Do you know this?
I've heard of it. I've not seen it.
It's like it's 2.5 hours long. It's pretty good though, and it's beautifully shot, and it's a true story. And
okay.
I've only seen it once. This will be my second time watching, and I have high hopes.
So I'm gonna pick this movie because I know you've seen it multiple times, and you're like, man, I think I might pick this movie for the pod. So I'm gonna fucking pick it for the
I said
pod.
I might pick it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I've wanted to watch it, but the more you've talked it up, the more I've wanted to pick it.
So you've never seen it?
Never seen it. It's a newer movie. I'm gonna pick The Killing of a Sacred Deer. So it's funny because the last two times I've picked the heavy movies and you've picked like the more uplifting ones. Yeah,
I love that movie.
Yeah, I know. And I was like, I fucking really want to watch this movie, so that's what I'm going with.
And fucking, I just love Colin Farrell and Barry Keoghan. After Banshees of Inisherin.
Yep.
They're both in the Killing of a Sacred Deer, but it's so dark and unsettling, and it's a real fucking vibe, man. You're gonna
I'll probably love it. Yeah, I'll probably love it.
I hope you do. All right, there you have it, folks. Killing of a Sacred Deer. What did I choose? Into the Wild.
Back to you, fuckers.
We'll see you next time.
Peace out.
Shit.
Oh shit, I'm getting a cramp. God damn it.
Oh shit, he's on his period.
I'm on my
everybody.
fucking period, guys.